Recording. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to have you all on our call tonight. I hope some more people are coming on, and I hope that you've had a great week. And before we give the floor over to Barb, and Barb, I am so excited and thankful for your participation and your leadership tonight. But I would really love to hear from you what you have implemented this past week, because we are doing these workshops to learn things and then we want to apply them, right?
Right.
So last week was all about bookings. What technique did you try this week to make a difference, and did it make a difference in your calendar?
Dawn's little booking bags, the little rewards that you can't see that but you want.
I love that. And have you been using them in your virtual parties?
Yeah.
And how's that going?
It seemed to go pretty well. I had some people comment, but don't want to commit to a party, but at least it got comments that I don't usually get.
Very good. Very good. Love that you tried that. Awesome. Thanks, Barb. Who else wants to share what they've done this week?
Well, I don't know if this was part of what we talked about last week, maybe a little bit, because I know Dawn talked a lot about our mindset and getting our heads right to do this business. And so anyway, I have just been diving into trainings. I've done Dash trainings, hadn't been on Dash in a while, and they've updated. So if you've not been on there, it's really good. Also, I signed up for the Kristen Boss training that started today. So I had one session of her, and she's amazing. What else? Did something else. I did another training. Something you at that call you had posted, Karen. I listened to that.
Okay, good. Oh my God.
And so, I figure, I'm asking, still not getting the results I want, but I am doing more reach outs. I do my birthday reach outs every day, but I've also added some extras and doing more follow-ups with people that I've already reached out to. So, it's coming. I did get a booking for October today, so I was. I mean, hey, I'll take it. I'll take anything, So, but things are looking better, and I'm working on myself. That's the big thing. Working on my mindset, my attitude, and my belief.
I'm so happy you took that step further. But you said you're working on yourself and exactly what you're working on. I think that's awesome, Gail. Great progress. Glad to hear it. Excellent. Anyone else?
Well, I was working on mindset and it was going well, and then I got put back in Facebook jail.
Oh.
So, but I did get a booking for September, and I have 2 parties going right now that just are starting that I want to do that mystery bag. So I'm hoping I can I'm hoping I'm out of jail soon and can comment in my parties.
Goodness sakes, with the Facebook jail. Lori was just there.
I've been there since conference.
Yeah. Could you create a account in Lance's name?
I created another account in my name and it got suspended today.
So I'm wondering if because when I would put one in as Steve and never had a problem, I could always get around it that way. But yeah, it's interesting that it seems to kind of ebb and flow. That for a while we didn't hear anything about people being in Facebook jail, but lately there's been a few who have had Facebook jail, and like I know Marna can't message right now. So yeah, it's just kind of odd how that's working. So
yeah, I can't comment or react.
Yeah. Well, I will just report. Thank you, Lynn. I'll report that I was stayed at my desk on Friday and booked 7 parties. So I've
nice.
So I've got 5 parties starting tomorrow, and one the next week, and then one in September. And I just booked an October bridal shower. So bookings are, they're out there. And I guess I'm just going to encourage you that if you're trying things and they're not working, tweak, really, again, and ask for help. If you're messaging and you're using a script and it doesn't seem to be working, share with the script. be open to maybe just a couple of tweaks, because you're probably so close to doing the right thing. And so just keep it going, you guys. Again, if you're joining us because you want to build your business, and I so appreciate that, and pat you all on the back for taking the initiative to be here. But a full calendar is where it's at. And we're really recommending that you work up to 8 parties a month, depending on your schedule and depending whether they're virtual or live. But you've got to have a good heavy schedule in order to practice what we're teaching and to try new things. And because Barb is going to give us some great tips, and we're going to want to use them. And you can't, if you know, just like learning French, if you don't go out and speak French, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to get proficient in learning French, right? So anyway, Barb, thank you again. I'm looking forward to refreshing my recruiting, and I know I need to recruit a couple people this month.
Me too.
And, I'm looking for some tips. So thank you so much for helping us tonight.
You are welcome. All right. Mindset, good place to start, because that's the first thing on my list of notes is the mindset of recruiting. You are not trying to force someone to go into a business they don't want to do, right? You're not asking them for a favor. You're doing them a favor. You're offering them something you absolutely love that can do such great things for them. It can give them a community, life skills, income, tools to make cooking easier. They can earn free vacations, all of those things. So you're offering a good thing. You're not trying to force them to do something, right? You're giving them an opportunity. And if you love your business, then you shouldn't be nervous about sharing that, because would you be nervous if you saw someone carrying 30 bags of groceries and you went to ask them if you wanted help, to help them? Or would you be nervous, if your friend was injured and you offered to help them do their tasks? Or if someone needed a babysitter and you were available, would you be nervous offering that help? It's the same thing, right? You're offering them something that's good. So that's the big thing with the mindset there. And it's sharing what you love, right? So if you, Karen, you share about books all the time. You are not afraid to share about a good book, right? So why be afraid to share about a good opportunity, right? Sorry, I have notes and I would have tacked them up, but my printer is not. We got a new Wi-Fi and the printer didn't get hooked up. So I'm going to be flipping pages instead of having my little notes up here. So one of the easiest ways, obviously, is to share the opportunity is through parties, right? It's interact, inform, and invite. So it's the formula. You're interacting is all your posts, your engagement posts. You're getting to know people. You're seeing how much they interact. You're looking for the kind of things they need in their life. And maybe they don't even know that they need it, but that's your job, right? That's what Dawn says, is this is part of your job. Yes, we work for ourselves, but we have things we have to do in our job. So it's your job to look for where Pampered Chef can be that solution in somebody's life by listening to them and talking to them and stuff. Like Dawn says, you want to inform but not throw up on them. You don't want to scare them away by saying everything, because then they're like, whoa, especially when you talk fast like me. And then, ouch, sorry guys. When you're sharing your story, you're interacting when you're sharing your story, right? But you want to keep it a little kind of brief. You want to share kind of your why you joined, why you stay, and then give them a call to action, right? So for me, it's pretty easy. It's you guys. So I joined to get free stuff, and I quickly learned that I need you guys in my life, so I stay. And then it's, who else wants to come and join this great community of people with me? Who else needs to be uplifted once a week on a Zoom call? Who needs that, right? It's about getting them to know, like, and trust you. So being authentic, right? We offer up a lot of scripts. Here you can use this, here I've tried this, here I've tried this. But in each one of those scripts, you got to kind of read it, right? Because if it doesn't sound like you're not.
Wait a minute. I didn't know you was coming. I'll let you buy mine.
What? Can you mute? Train of thought to your head. So yeah, you're not giving them the benefit of your authentic self then if you're using words that don't make sense. Now, some consultants can give you a script and it sounds just like you because you're, more of that type or that color, like we did the color thing. But you have to make sure that you're making it authentic to you, because then if you don't and you start having conversations with people later, then it doesn't seem like you're being honest and true, because you're going to sound completely different, right? You're not going to sound like that at all. When you're informing then during the parties, you're letting them know that the opportunity is there, and you want to share more about just being more than just about being a consultant, right? You want to create the desire for them to have that opportunity. So not so much about what you do, but what you love, right? So, if it's earning free stuff is your thing, then share a lot about earning free stuff, because you can speak to that genuinely. That's why kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but I know in my parties, I use different join posts. I use several different join posts, and each one will kind of highlight a different perk about the business, because you're trying to create a desire. And until you've spoken to everybody in that party, is that even a word? You don't know what their desire is. So you just keep sprinkling out the information and see what hits them. There's tools that PC has given us. The why Pampered Chef Lookbook, that's huge. That's a really good tool. The Be a Consultant page on your personal website has a lot of information. To me, it sounds a tad bit salesy, but the information's there, right? Maybe they'll ask you questions. And then the Meet PC webinar. I mean, that's a huge tool that's given to us. Sign your people up for that. And then when you're inviting, you want to be really genuine and really complimentary and not salesy, right? And when you're inviting them, it's not about, oh, you can make this money, and oh, you can earn this, and oh, you can do this. It's about, oh my gosh, you shared so many great cooking tips in your party. You would make a great consultant. You could bring those tips to many people all the time. It's about not making things up, of course, but complementing their strength and not just offering them a job or a business, right? Because if you're not confident, you're not going to do it. And you build confidence by praising people's good attributes or qualities. So also always offer the opportunity of a one-on-one conversation, which opportunity call. And if you're nervous about doing one, get a hold of your upline or a peer that does a lot of recruiting or whatever, and have them do it with you on the phone or on Zoom. Just an opportunity chat so that people can ask the questions they want to ask. And have a conversation that's really good give and take conversation. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard to have those conversations via written word, right? Because they can't hear your smile or see what you really mean. They can't hear how much you love your business when you're typing. You can put all the emojis you want, but you can't relay the feeling that you have for your business unless they can hear you somehow. I'm looking for something I just wrote down that I can't remember, but it was really good. I'll find it in these notes in a minute. One of the things, as I was like researching the best things to tell you guys, Gail was talking about Dash. Dash is completely redone, and it has it has a little bit more feel to it. Like you can get more out of it. So I was looking at their recruiting little videos, and I learned that the purple highlights, even though when you put your cursor on them, it doesn't look like it, you can click them and they will drop down. I didn't think so, because I was like, well, why is it purple? So Dash has really gotten a lot better with that too. When you do your opportunity call, you want to be kind of have an outline, right? So that you don't go off on a tangent and whatever. Just like when we're doing trainings or when we're wanting to relay information, have an outline. So it's kind of a 3-step process. So the first part of it is you're going to get acquainted with them, right? Maybe they didn't talk a ton in the party. Maybe there's just other questions that you guys can have a good give and take about. Get to know them on a common ground, meet them where they live, basically, right? And then you're going to, you're going to get through all of that, and talk a little bit about how Pampered Chef can help them, or what good can come of the Pampered Chef relationship between the two of them. And then just ask kind of, when you feel like you're at that point in the conversation, you've kind of exhausted those conversations, just say, okay, so are you, thanks for sharing all of those things. Now you've maybe learned their hobbies and all of that. Thanks for sharing all those things. Do you want more information? Are you ready to pick out your kit? It's okay to actually ask the question, because you're staying on a topic, right? You don't want to waste their time or yours. Obviously, if they say they're ready, point them right to their website and get that done quickly. If they say that they have more questions, you can be specific. You can say, what specifically is it? What is it that you want to learn more about? You can also point them back to, if you have not shared with them, or maybe you shared it in your party and you don't know if they clicked that Why Pampered Chef lookbook, and get some highlights out of there, and stuff like that. So, you can go through a whole nother conversation with them, and then it's time to kind of start wrapping it up and letting them know, without saying it, that there is kind of a time limit on how much we're going to go back and forth. And you can just say, did you want to know how easy it is to get started? And if they say yes, again, website, launch bundle right now. And if they say no, if they say, they need to think about it a little more, you can ask again if there's something specific, or just set up another call. Maybe they just need to process the information without feeling like they have to decide for you right now. And if they say no, that's okay too, because you've still built a rapport, and you've still gotten someone who hopefully is taking away a really good feeling about you, and will share that with maybe other people, who they think would do it. And that's okay to talk about too. So, so no, you're not interested, but if you know anybody else who might be wanting to do this, feel free to have them reach out to me, or connect me with them. I feel like you guys, really, recruiting is from the heart. I feel like you have to pay attention to all the cues. I mean, TJ told me about, she met this wonderful lady when she was went to help her daughter move, and she sent me the messages, and like, I'm not sure what to say here. And you could read in the messages that this poor new mama really needs support. She probably needs money too. We all do, right? Especially as new mamas, but you could hear how she spoke. She needs support. And so, obviously I told TJ to make sure she talks about the support we get. So it's watching what they say, and maybe even how they say it, and then acting on that to help them. But remember, it's to help them, not you. So then that puts it in a whole new light for you. I don't have a ton else. I mean, I think I can answer questions, or does anybody else want to add to anything I said?
Barb, you gave us some really great information.
Thanks.
I think somebody.
Hey, Barb.
Yeah.
It's TJ. I just wanted to piggyback to what Barb. I wasn't going to be able to, but then I was like, I've been waiting for this one with Barb, and I told my daughter, I'm like, I have to go, and I'm gonna have to call you back tomorrow. But because you are really good at hearing the things that I think, like with me, I'm learning that I've gotten too much in a hurry, or trying to say the right thing, or I'm too focused on what I'm trying to say versus like really listening to what they're saying. And in my job, my full-time job, I'm a great listener. I don't know what my snafu is here, but I'm learning. So when you heard that message and you said, wow, she really needs our support, that's the direction I took it. And she's back from vacation this week. She messaged me last night and said, hey, I'd like to go ahead and set up a chat now, because I'm excited to learn, about this community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate that.
Of course.
Thanks.
Barb,
Besides making me blush.
I've got one thing to add, just that I have learned over the years is, not everybody's ready right now.
Yeah.
And so what I always do, if they tell me, no, I don't think I can do this right now, and I'll say, oh, or they don't even say, I just say no. And I'll say, well, is that no, you never want to be a consultant, or just not right now? And that's how you can build your lead list. And, then every time that we have a great promotion, or really every month, we should be, reaching out to them and touching base with them at least every couple months, and, just checking, because things change in people's lives, as we all know. And so, you never know when it's going to be the good time. So you just got to keep on offering that.
Absolutely. Good point. Thanks.
And I'll just add, let them know that you're there for them whenever, and that, no matter what part they play in your Pampered Chef business, whether it's a customer, a host, or a potential consultant, they play an important part in your business.
Right. Even as a referral source. I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody we talk to has emphasis on the business.
And you know what, and I did write that down. You mentioned referral again. I almost forgot to mention, if there was, we talk about there being a booking shop on the corner, if there was a booking shop on the corner, you probably would go into that booking shop and, I don't know, pay $5, $10, $20 for a booking, right?
Oh yeah.
And let's think about that for recruiting too. You might want to think about, sharing with everyone. I offer such and such a discount, or such and such a prize, or thank you should you refer someone to me.
Right. Referral bonus.
And it could be yourself. I mean, so you can decide what you would be willing to give. It could be a $25 rebate when they, do their $12.50. I don't usually reward anything unless they're, it's a qualified recruit. Now they don't understand what qualified is. So using the word qualified, you may want to say, let's get your first party to $12.50 and I'll give that rebate to you, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good.
I loved what you said about know, like, and trust. And you can't get to trust without knowing and learning about people and liking them and getting them to like you, which is all part of that color thing we talked about, right?
Yep.
And you
Absolutely.
can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong, I think and vice versa.
I think we all got you.
Yeah, good. Who else would add something? Dawn, are you still walking?
No, I'm here.
Yeah. Anything?
I agree. I think Barb, great information. I always say the biggest mistake us make is we talk too much. More about asking the questions and shut up and listen. Because a lot of times they don't need a lot of information. They just need a little bit just to get them started. And then it's our job to partner with them and help them to be successful.
Yep.
And I think the question, and I don't know if I heard you say this or not. Do you need to know more about why Pampered Chef might be a fit for you, or do you just need to know how to get started?
Yeah, I said that not in your pretty words though.
And I think it's such an important question to ask. And so many times I ask that question and they're like, oh, I just need to know how to get started. Great, Barb. Thank you.
It was welcome. I would add one thing that I think is a really big mistake is that we just don't ask.
Yeah.
We just don't ask. And we get into our own thing and we don't ask. And we have had training on asking everybody 5 times, asking our hosts 5 times. And are we really doing that?
That was it. That was the thing that I wrote down that I was going to tell you guys.
That's what teamwork is all about, right?
Yes. So when you think of asking the host 5 times, you're like, my gosh, I'm going to be badgering this lady the whole time, right? So I found a thing on Dash for when to ask. On your first hosting call, ask if they've ever considered doing what you do, and make sure that you give them the YPC lookbook and the Be a Consultant page, the Be a Consultant link for your page at that time. And then once guests start joining, and there's a lot of people joining, do a quick ask then, just like, hey, you have a lot of friends and family that seem to love PC. Did you get to look at the links I sent you? And then when they reach kit credit level in their party, good time to mention it again without cramming it in there. And then the fourth time is while they're closing the party. Congratulate them obviously on a good party. Remind them about the kit credit and let them know why they'd be a wonderful consultant based off of all the knowledge you got from them during the party. And then the fifth time, thank goodness, is after the party, once they get their products. So you're not cramming them all in there at once. That kind of made me feel good just seeing that, just because I'm like, how are you asking them 5 times without driving them crazy?
Well, and that's the beauty of learning more, and learning the tweaks that work for you, because we're sprinkling, and I think what you're talking about is sprinkling. Maureen posted, "Don't prejudge." She must not be in a place she can speak, but don't prejudge. We tend to not ask people because they may not look like, our perception of them might be completely different than what they are, and so really everybody can do Pampered Chef. There isn't anybody out there that can't do it. They just, have to give it a try to see how it will fit into their lives. And that's where we can help, right, Dawn? Help them mold alongside their lives. I love what you brought up about the lookbook, and you remind me, Barb, that really, especially for doing virtual parties, that needs to be part of every virtual party, and it's not part of my template.
It's not in my template either. I remember sometimes and sometimes not. So yeah, it needs to be there.
How many of you use the lookbook?
What is the lookbook?
Oh, we'll post that for you. It's a little video that Pampered Chef put together. I'm so glad you're here, and thanks for asking. Yeah.
I used it because Lori reminded me to use it. I didn't know it was a thing, but I've used it twice so far.
I just forget about it, and I've not put it in my parties. And that's one of the things I really highlighted here, Barb, that you shared, was to share it in your parties, because I've looked at it and I've shared it with a couple of people I've been talking to, but I've never put it in my parties. So that's going to be a definite thing I do.
Yeah, that's going to my template when we're done here, because
you know what, you guys, this is going to be our topic for Tuesday night training tomorrow night. I think we need to talk about templates, no matter what kind of party we do, and even with the live party. I mean, I always, when I did live parties, there was a part of my show where I did this, and there was a part of my show where I did that. And to me, that is a system. And I know that one of the things we're trying to work as a team is coming up with a system that we can duplicate, and so anyway, I think that is a really good discussion for tomorrow night.
it is.
Because we want to make our lives easy.
Absolutely.
And when Dawn and I have talked about this too, where you're doing something for a while and then you stop doing it for some reason or another, and you think, well, why wasn't I, why don't I ask 5 times in every party? When I was doing that, I was recruiting, right?
Right.
Yep. And I love that you said a system, because I remember way back when I started, it was you sprinkle recruiting and booking messages through your party 3 to 5 times. And that's the same thing in a virtual party, right? That every day in your virtual party, you need to talk about recruiting and bookings. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in sales that we forget that we're selling the business and the booking as well as the products.
Yep. That's one of the things I do get in there, because Lori taught me early on to get it in there every day, and she alternates them. So like if she does a booking message in the morning, the next day she does that in the evening, and then vice versa, does the recruiting in the evening. And so that you're hitting all of those people at whatever times they come in and they're seeing it all.
So I made this I'm an OCD person, but I made this outline that has like
my
lines where you can fill it in. And I put in there like every other day, like one day I do a consultant thing, the next day I do host a party. So then it's not the same over and over and over again. Be a consultant, be a consultant, be a consultant, or host a party, host a party. And I mean, it's just an outline. You can fill in the lines, like I write in what imagery I'm gonna use. I can
Would you
share
please,
that with
would
anybody.
you please put in a Joe pack? We would love that.
Yeah.
You
I don't know
have-
how to do that, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, well, if not, you need help, but yeah, just let us know. But that is brilliant. That is
Yeah.
just brilliant. Do you
And
know
it has
how
check
good you
marks.
are?
It has check marks, so I just go through like as I do the virtual party and just check off, okay, I've posted this, okay, I've posted this with the times that I want to do and everything. And it has seemed to work for me. I'm a paper person,
That's amazing. That is
so it works.
Those are it works for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All find something different that works for us. You know, some people are spreadsheet people. I'm like you, I'm a paper and pencil.
I like paper.
Got to hold it in my hand and look at it. But that's the secret to this business is you have to find what works for you in all these different areas. So I love that you found that so quickly.
I made a system in a week. I was stressed.
That's amazing. It's taken
That
me
is-
1 years.
It was a process. There was lots of cars played that week for my 2-year-old. It's okay.
Okay, so let's talk for a second about success. For those of you who have added team members to your business, how has it felt to add new team members to your business?
It's always a rush when you get somebody to join.
Tell us a little bit more. Why is it a rush?
It just feels good that you can be trying to guide somebody, because sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but but it feels good. It's a rush because now you have an opportunity to like help them and however they want to be helped. Awesome. I like it.
I can tell you for me, I've only brought one person, and but it really helped my confidence, because the person came to me after me. She said I asked her 5 times, and I did not realize I asked her 5 times. And she came to me and said, I want to be part of Pampered Chef. She's really, really young and wanting to take charge of her life and change things for herself and kind of become the first in her family to do XYZ. And yes, it was just like, wow, somebody's hearing what I'm saying. And it really meant a lot to know that somebody sees us as a way they can change their life.
That is awesome.
And I think, Karen, I have to say that I feel like when I have somebody new on my team, it kind of keeps me engaged because I know that they're watching me and I'm a role model. So I think it helps me stay on task when I know I have new people that are watching me and learning from me.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to build on that, Dawn, because it also adds energy and excitement to your team as well. If you already have team members, and I don't know what it is, but when you get somebody new, it kind of pulls other people back. You know, maybe they've been, drifting away or slacking a little bit, and then you get some new folks. It adds some extra energy, something, it's just excitement, which is good for all of us. It's good for the leader and the whole team. So,
Agreed.
Shot of adrenaline, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to share? I don't know if I can verbalize um, you know, I had a birthday last week. Thank you all for many of your, for your wishes and stuff. But I got on this morning to say thank you in a message, and I realized that everybody who happened to be on, we're all part of our team. And, and I had realized this before that, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know where I would be without our team. And I want that for all of you. I mean, the business isn't about what I want for you, it's about what you want. But I wish you could be in my position and feel the caring and the support and the love that we all have. And we only get that from joining meetings like this and learning from each other and supporting each other and putting yourself in the position for more. And so I hope that you just can stop I'd love for you to just stop for a second and think about in 5 years or 1 year or whatever time frame you want, and think about how you can surround yourself with those kind of people. And this is funny how some things pop into my mind. For a long time, I think we all go into sometimes where we start to think about saturation. And we worry about, that. But when you think about music and you think about, do you think the last most beautiful song has been written? I mean, there is always something new out there. There's always something different. So anyway, any comments to that effect?
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. Yeah, I feel like if I need something, I could reach out to anybody on this team and they be there to support me. The friendships are and it's the hidden benefit of this business.
Yeah.
Very few people start this business to make new friends. We don't go look for a new job so that we can find new friends. And it's that hidden benefit that you never even dream you're going to get.
Absolutely.
But like Barb said, I didn't know I needed y'all in my life. And now that keeps me here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't just happen, you guys. You have to go out and you have to ask. That I've not had one recruit come up and knock on my front door and say, I want to join your team. Okay, so I want to just tell you a little story. You may have heard this story before. How many of you have heard the starfish story? I think it's important to rehear if you've heard it before. The starfish story is an old man had a habit of early morning walks on the beach. One day after a storm, he saw a human figure in the distance moving like a dancer. As he came closer, he saw that it was a young woman, and she was not dancing, but she was reaching down to the sand, picking up a starfish and very gently throwing them into the ocean. Young lady, he said, why are you throwing a starfish into the ocean? The sun is up and the tide is going out, and if I do not throw them in, they will die, she said. But young lady, do you not realize that there are miles and miles of beach and starfish all along it? You cannot possibly make a difference. The young woman listened politely, paused, then bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it into the sea, past the breaking waves, saying, it made a difference for that one.
Yeah.
So that is really what it's all about when it comes to recruiting. It's very, we can complicate it, I think. I think we do complicate it.
Sometimes.
But it's really a matter of simply getting your mindset, like Barb said, getting your mindset there and asking. Any comments, questions, any challenges that you would like to talk about? Because this is the time to talk about them. Well,
I don't have a challenge or anything like that. I'm curious, do you prefer Madeline or Maddie? Are you a Madeline?
I'm a Madeline.
Okay. Madeline and oh my gosh, TJ, help me. Your girl. Why can't I think of her name? I talked to her.
Bailey.
Huh?
Bailey.
Bailey. Well, I talk to her all the time. I don't even know. Are very young compared to the rest of us on the call. I would like to see a training of sorts from the younger members of our team, because this is a group that we need to learn how to target's a bad word, but how to cater to, how to help. And we're
So,
not going to be able to get that without help.
so I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I submitted my second party this week.
That's
Go
awesome.
team. So I'm still trying to figure it out. A lot of the struggles I've had is like with interacting, like with virtual parties. I haven't tried to do an in-person party. Those absolutely terrify me right now.
That's okay.
But as far as like virtual parties, trying to like keep it fun while also being informative is something I'm kind of like learning to balance and kind of figuring out like, okay, if I do an engagement post in the morning and one at like 3 o'clock, it kind of balances the like, here's some information, here's some information, here's some information, here's some information, and everything. And I'll share my outline that kind of like it explains how I started my parties, and they seem to work. I've only had like 3. So
I'm curious about is what your generation finds engaging, right? We all have engagement posts in our parties, but they may not all be something that your generation is interested in engaging with.
So
And-
I started a Pinterest board and Googled a lot of different things to try to figure it out. And I've done a lot of like, okay, you're going to a barbecue. What are you going to bring? A to Z, list one word, right? And things like that have kind of taken off. I've done a few where it's like, okay, you're going to a barbecue. Wrong answers only. What are you bringing? My ice skates.
Wrong answers only is fun.
That's kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
Because like somebody said ice skates. Like you're not gonna bring ice skates to a barbecue. So it's kind of fun, and I've tried to keep it like food themed or kitchen themed with a lot of my questions. And let's see, what else do I have on here? Like I've tried to do little funny things, like for my Tuesday post, it's Taco Tuesday, what's the best kind of taco? And it says like shrimp, chicken, or whatever taco somebody else made me. Like things like that are just kind of gonna be a little bit funny, because everyone that I've done parties with so far they're all working for the most part, so they don't have time to sit there and like play a 45-minute game. I don't know how you would play a game like that, but I've seen it work. We did a really fun one where it was a food fight.
Food fights
And
are
it's like,
fun.
huh? Yeah,
Food fights
I like
are
that.
fun.
And it's a
Dance
virtual
parties
party.
too.
How do you do a dance party? Like with gifts?
Yeah.
Gifts? I'm not very technologically savvy, so
I
I'm
say
probably
gift
the
too.
wrong
It's
person to ask.
You're doing great. You're doing great. And that's probably something we could start is why doesn't everybody share their favorite engagement posts, the things that they get the most, the most reaction from? And I think the important thing too with engagement is also, responding to the likes. Don't just respond to the comments, respond to the likes, private message people who have liked a post too, but encourage them. I mean, if you do prizes in your party, encourage them to comment.
So I did this thing I did it my last party, and then I did it my this party that I just started last Friday, of like brownie points. Like I remade the whole thing that I found on Pinterest, and every morning I just get up and like calculate how many people have commented. And if they comment on a product post, they get like 2 points, versus if it's just playing in a game, they get 1. Or if they make an order, it's 5 or whatever. And it seemed to work. People were excited to win a prize.
People are excited for the prize. So I will tell you, you will get over counting. Right?
Sure,
Barb?
I will.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, you're gonna. But no, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
I also have time right now.
If you have,
That's why I'm doing this. It's for something to do. I have a 2-year-old.
look how she reminds me. She reminds me of Amy Conowell. Would anybody would agree with me there?
A little bit, yeah, she does.
We're
Yes.
we're gonna have to connect you. Send you some trainings from Amy Conowell, who is very young and just became a national director. So it's I love that. Yeah, we want to hear from you. That's for sure, Barb. Thank you.
Yes.
And so with that, anything else? Kim, great to see you here tonight too, Kim Hill. I'm missing somebody on this call. Oh, I see Don. All right, you guys. Well, listen, thank you so much. Again, our assignment is to keep working on 8 shows a month. And again, if you're reaching out and you're not getting results, let's talk about it, because there are people out there getting results. Let's find out what they're doing. Let's find out what they're doing and tweak it so we can fill our calendar. And I am going to encourage you. We're having an opportunity night at 8 o'clock on Thursday, and it's going to be a half-hour opportunity night. And I will stay to the end and go live to answer any questions. So I'm going to encourage you to get at least one person in the Look and Learn or the Behind the Apron Facebook page, and practice your recruiting. And if they're not signing up, get them into the op night, and let's show them how we support each other and the great things about our business. Oh, Kim says, I asked them to share a picture of their pet or one of their favorite pictures in general. Like share the last picture on your phone and let's guess what you were doing. That's very cute. Somebody else said,
Karen, when is the opportunity night that you're
Thursday
doing?
night. We're having one the
What-
17th, and we're also having one on the 30th.
Okay, what time?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock your time?
Yeah, whenever I do meetings, it's Eastern time.
I have a hard time. This is
I know, I understand. I'm 10 minutes away. I'm 10 minutes away from the Central Line, and Panama City is our big town here, and that's where I go to. That's where we go to shop and stuff. So it's always crazy going over that hour line and setting up an appointment, and oh my gosh! So I get you.
It's crazy,
and I get confused with it anyway. Well, love these ideas. If we have nothing else, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you tomorrow night on a Tuesday night training where we are going to talk about templates and systems for our parties. How does that sound? That will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and then don't forget at 8 o'clock is the live Pampered Chef, which I really encourage you all to attend so that you can get some tips and tricks and lines and ideas to incorporate into your business, because one idea can change your whole life, guys. Everybody say good night. Unmute and say good night.
Night.
I'll see you at 9 o'clock.
What's up? Okay.
Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.